would be quite easy for us and a lot of bands to tour differently. I've been struggling over the last year, to communicate it to my bandmates, because I'm not a very good communicator at the best of times. I sort of keep things in. And it's a very difficult thing to talk about. There isn't an easy way into having a conversation about the climate crisis. I don't want to fly ever again. And this year I've had to kind of look at the question of whether I should be in the band. But like, you know, if I didn't go on this tour this summer, then the obvious point comes up that someone else would do it. They'd get someone else to do it. So it's not like I'm actually going to stop the flying. And I'm just not quite ready to walk out of my job. Would be quite easy for us and a lot of bands to tour differently. And
what would differently look like?
To tour, basically to not do certain types of tours. So for example, tomorrow we're supposed to be going on an Asian tour, and it's, in terms of the actual kind of overall like slice of our touring income, just looking at it in financial terms, it's a tiny little bit. And if we weren't to do that tour, it wouldn't affect our business particularly, but it would mean that we're not freighting 2 tons of gear like halfway across the world and back. So for me, that seems like quite a clear case of something we shouldn't do. To actually communicate that to everyone, not just in the band, but everyone who's working around the band and the touring industry, all those people, it's pretty difficult to do. And
I think it's time to stop altogether. I mean, right now is a kind of a sign to the world that perhaps you shouldn't.
I would certainly say we should stop that kind of touring, and I don't think we should be going to Australia or South America. And I think that would send a good signal. And I think probably bands will start doing that. Obviously Coldplay are the big one who said that they're not going to tour. It remains to be seen what their touring is going to look like. I think we could tour Europe really easily in a sort of green way. Maybe not quite now because we still have to use lorries and stuff, but the actual impact that driving gear across Europe has compared to flying in the sort of big picture is relatively low. But you're right, it binds people together, and going to gigs binds people together. There has to be a compromise somewhere between doing that and not living a life of kind of hedonistic excess. We in London are obviously blessed with a very vibrant music scene, and around the world that varies in different places. We're also blessed with essentially free music online. And almost unlimited resource in YouTube and things like that. There are so many different ways that communities can get together and enjoy the life that we have without enormous acts having to tour the world and people flying, to Bali for 2 days or whatever.